Hello, everyone. Welcome to SPI Health and Safety and Superior Gloves webinar, this special series of COVID-19 hand protection in times of a pandemic. For those who may not know SPI, we are your single most valuable partner for companies who value health and safety in their work environment. My name is Amélie Leduc. I'm a marketing advisor here at SPI. I will turn on my webcam just so you can actually put a face on to who's going to be presenting today. Hello, everyone. I am actually in this SPI studio here at our head office, but I will ask Ray DiBello, our guest speakers today, to join in on the webcam as well. Hi, Ray.
Hey there. Hello, everybody.
All right. Yes, so basically, just so you know, Ray is in his office, I'm in mine. We're respecting the preventive measures, but we wanted to say hi to you guys, and I wanted to present my colleague Ray DiBello from Superior Glove. Ray, you've been with Superior Glove for 25 years, but in the health and safety industry for 35, correct?
That's correct, yes. And I am from the Montreal office here, and I'm
Yes.
alone.
And you're alone. Good. Me too. I'm
Yes.
in the studio all by myself.
Mm.
um, So basically, just so you know how it's going to work today, the webinar, it's going to be a 30-minute webinar. You will be able to ask questions as we go along. You have a Q&A box on your console, so you may use that at any time. Send us your question. We'll try to answer them interactively. If we're unable to do so, we will respond on an individual basis afterwards, or we'll respond it at the end. We'll see how the flow goes. But don't hesitate, ask your question. And at the end, for those who are familiar with our webinar, we will ask you to respond to a quick survey. Today, there won't be any poll question as there are usually. We will keep focus on our topic and make sure that we have time to answer your questions. So I will turn off the webcam just so we don't distract you from the presentation. But we're here, we're real, we're live, and we're safe. So we'll stop my webcam. All right. So first of all, we want to thank everybody who's practicing social distancing and actually staying at home. We know it's not easy, but if we want to slow the curve, that's what we need to do. And we want to give a special thank to all of those working really hard to fight this virus and everyone supporting them. So whether it's at the grocery store, at the hospital, the cleaning people, everybody, thank you so much for taking care of us. Actually. Um, it's important for you to understand that today's webinar will not provide you with the magic solution. We're not going to reinvent anything here. However, because there's no guide for managing such of a pandemic, because if there was, they would have shared it with us, obviously. But what we want us to do today is to educate you on when you should use disposable glove in a pandemic, how to actually safely remove them, and what are other alternatives you can count on, as well as creative substitutes. Right off the bat, I want to mention that yes, the authorities are saying wear gloves. Some are saying don't wear gloves. Uh, this is your choice to wear gloves or not to wear gloves to protect yourself. But if you are going to wear gloves, this is what we want to talk to you about today, when you should be using them and how you should safely remove them as well. So without further delay, let's start. Ray, maybe introduce Superior Glove as one of the leader in Canada in terms of
Thank you. Yes,
manufacturing.
I will. Superior Glove has been around since 1910. It is the leader in manufacturing. I'm proud to say that 40% of the gloves that you see on our website, out of the 3,400, are made in Canada. We have two plants in Newfoundland. We have another plant in Acton, Ontario. We also have a plant in the U.S. We're almost 500 employees. So thank you.
Yes, and it's good that you have a plant in Canada, right? Right now, it's I think it's one of the biggest advantage for Superior.
Exactly. Let me just put it in to give you a better understanding. Right now, if you order anything overseas, if you can get it, that's the issue. If you can
Yeah.
get it, it will take you 2 months of a boat ride. Where when it's a made in Canada product, it takes us 14 to 21 days to produce it. So that's the advantage. And
Yeah.
we're keeping jobs in Canada. That's the other
Yeah.
thing too.
For sure, we need to think about our economy, definitely.
Exactly.
So Ray, when talking about wearing gloves, obviously, usually we've talked about, the protection of your hands from abrasion, cuts, burns, chemicals, or any other hazards. But today, in time of a pandemic, it's important that we're going to talk about the fact that it protects people, but only also products, right?
Exactly. It's the glove market. I mean, we're so used to medical use. Now it's personal use, and that's what we're
Yeah,
going to talk about mainly today.
absolutely,
The
because
individual. Yeah.
yeah, and the gloves will protect your hands from germs. Always in in the purpose, the goal is to stop spreading the disease. O-
Exactly.
Obviously, it protects people as well. Like we can see on this picture, people who actually are working to secure that we have groceries, right?
Yes.
Are wearing gloves to make sure they reduce the spread of the virus. Most importantly, we need to protect us all. So that's why we are doing this webinar today. So Ray, when
Exactly.
should one use disposable gloves?
When I mean, on a personal note, if I go do groceries, I am going to put my gloves on. If I'm pumping gas, I'm going to put my gloves on. I will use my gloves when I think it's important for me to be protected. And at the end of the day, it's it's a question of personal choice and also protecting myself. And also, if by chance I do have the virus, then I should put the gloves to protect people or whatever. If I'm putting my hand on something, I am protecting the surface. That's why I should put the glove. So both, either to protect me or protect others.
Yes, and you've mentioned it's a personal choice, and I want to reiterate this fact because some people say, well, we're not supposed to wear gloves. We're supposed to wear gloves. Obviously, washing your hand is the most important thing to do. We'll see later on that washing your glove is also one of the most important thing to do. But if you're gonna wear disposable gloves, do it in an area where there's a potential for contaminants. I don't think that wearing the gloves in your house will make it much of a difference. Correct,
No,
Ray?
exactly. I mean, it's where it's a possibility of contacting something.
Yep.
Definitely.
But we need to be aware of one thing, which is the improper use.
Yeah. The proper use of disposable gloves. First of all, how to dispose of the glove. That's an issue also.
Yep, which we'll
And
see.
also,
Yep.
I mean, this is a big issue also. And this is, as we'll talk, we'll clarify more about what we're talking about.
Exactly. So if we go into the proper way to use disposable gloves or any type of gloves, actually, right now, there are actually at least four things everybody should practice, right, Ray?
Yeah. Do not touch your face. Wear your PPE, your personal protection equipment. Do not touch surfaces. I mean, even just walking in a hallway, doorknobs and so on, phones and so on. Do not reuse disposable gloves once they've been removed, and so on. Remove gloves and remove the gloves properly and sanitize them. And that will explain also more as we go through this webinar.
Absolutely. And I think that people, our customers at SPI, sometimes they'll wear PPE. One thing it's very important is do not touch the PPEs if you've touched any other surfaces without, washing or sanitizing them, as we will be talking in a few slides.
Exactly.
So you guys have a how-to guide for removal of disposable gloves. So maybe you could just explain quickly how do we remove them safely?
Well, if you notice the first slide, which is number one, it shows you that you're pinching the exterior of the glove. As you're pinching, you pull down, and then as you pull down the glove, you make a fist, and the glove stays inside. You remove it. So that's number three. Number four, you'll notice. Number four, you notice now you're going on the inside of the glove because the outside of the glove is it can be contaminated. The inside is not. You pull it, you stretch inside, and you pull back down. Then you make a fist, and then you remove the glove completely. All right, and you dispose of it properly. That's very important all the time.
Absolutely. And, it's okay to hear it, but what we've done is that we've created a quick, a short video on how to remove them safely. This video is available on our website at spi-s.com. It's also available on Facebook and on our YouTube channel at SPI Health and Safety. But to make it easier for you, we will be sending that video in an email after the webinar, so you'll be able to refer it, but also to share it. We often joke here with the saying, share the info, not the virus. Well, here's one good info that you guys could be sharing with your family or your colleagues or anybody you can think of. Um, so basically, before we go on to alternatives, let's see what types of disposable gloves are there on the market actually as of today, Ray.
Well, there's really three types. I'll start with the first generation, which is a latex. Latex gloves came out for surgical purposes and so on. Keep in mind, latex, almost 1.25 of the population have latex allergy. So be careful if you offer a latex glove to somebody. The other one, uh, uh, the second one that came out was a vinyl one, or polyvinyl chlorine we call, which is used a lot in the food industry. And then in the last 35 years, I believe, it's the nitrile glove, which is the number one glove as we speak today. And this is the one that right now we're running out of worldwide.
Yes,
Those are the
exactly.
three. You know,
And those gloves, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they're made in Canada, right?
no, in Canada, I don't think there's anybody making any gloves in Canada. In the U.S., I'm less familiar because it's not a territory I cover. I think
Hmm.
there might be only two companies in the U.S. Most of the gloves come from an exterior.
And that's why it's going to take at least how many months before we are able to get a hold
Um,
of disposable gloves?
one glove manufacturer was on the news recently, and he mentioned it will take them 3 to 4 months to get back on track.
Yeah. So we need to think about a plan B, right?
Exactly. And this is why we're here today to talk to people about Plan B, what they can do, and so on.
Yes, absolutely. And so the good thing is that there are alternatives, or plan B, as you wish to call them. And I guess, Ray, you will be presenting a few products that are available at SBI and Superior Glove that can be used as alternatives.
Exactly.
So the first
This is a
one.
yeah, it's a dishwasher glove. It's nitrile. It's the dishwasher type of glove. A lot of times, you people notice in grocery stores, even dollar stores, you can buy dishwasher gloves. So either if it's nitrile or latex or vinyl, this is what we're offering as a Plan B.
And those are reusable, right? So we'll talk about cleaning them a little later on, but these are not
Exactly.
disposable. We have a question actually, Ray. How long can they last? One of those reusable nitrile gloves or vinyl gloves?
I mean, depending what you're doing. I mean, if you're working with it 8 hours a day, it will last anywhere between 3 days to about 6 days of work. But if you're only using it to go out, going shopping, and so it can last you a long time. And they're
Yeah.
very inexpensive, and they're washable. And that's something we'll talk about later. This other one that we came out with is a vinyl dishwasher style of gloves. Again, if there's some people are allergic to latex, this would be the solution. The green one is also non-latex, it's nitrile, and if the white with the fingertips in yellow is vinyl.
And then we have this black one, which is a neoprene.
Yes, neoprene is more of a industrial grade type of glove, but this is another alternative too. And if you don't have nitrile or vinyl or latex, this would be the other option, the fourth option.
And then the last one, but not the least, the PVC coated one.
It's a PVC glove. Yes, again, it's a 14-inch long. It's very thick, but again, it's a solution. It's a plan B. You know,
And most people will go towards disposable gloves, but as we mentioned it, there's no more, we're not going to get any. So some people will still working, some people will be using, cut resistant gloves, will be using abrasive resistant, or any needle, puncture or
yeah,
whatever. I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, but I think that what's important for people to recognize is that they may use any of these gloves as long as they are not leather or cotton and they have like a coated over it, so then the
exactly.
contaminant
Uh,
doesn't
uh,
stick to it.
Exactly. It's a barrier protection, either nitrile polyurethane, or even latex base. It is a protection, and they're all it's easy to wash them all. And
Exactly.
again, it's a plan B because the disposable limited use gloves there's not that much available right now in the market.
No, and I mean, yes, it may be a little more expensive than disposable gloves, but at some point, if you really want to wear gloves, again, it's a choice. It's We're not saying wear gloves or don't wear gloves, but if you decide that you want to wear gloves, that those are options that could be interesting for you to protect yourself.
Exactly.
Um, in terms of well, we talked about, we said we're going to talk about cleaning and sanitizing, so obviously that's very important to use all of the precautions, as you would with a disposable glove to avoid contaminating. And I guess you will present the recipe, right?
Exactly. And then later, but like everything, I mean, if you're working with harsh chemicals, you should be wearing gloves. If you're trying to clean your house and so on, very important. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, and we have a question also. What are the suggestions for medical in the medical industry? What could they be wearing? Could they be wearing what we've presented, Ray?
No, not really. In the medical, unfortunately, they have to use disposable glove
So that's why
because
all of the shipments are going towards hospitals and
exactly. And
clinics and
in all honesty, we should look. We the people are just need personal protection to go to the grocery and so on. We should leave the disposable gloves to the front line,
yeah,
and we should have
absolutely.
a plan B. I think this is important.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
and medical, you cannot reuse the glove unless you're doing cleaning, and even there, I'm questioning it. You should not because it
Hmm.
could be contaminated.
Absolutely. But in a
You know,
day-to-day use, or if people are still, working in their own industries, maybe, uh, maybe people should uh, think of, the other options, if the cut resistance with
exactly,
coated on it, and so on.
exactly.
Um,
The plan B. Yes.
yeah, exactly. Plan B. So the recipe, Ray, to
It's
clean
simple.
all
All you
this
do, it's
and reusable.
5% bleach and 95% warm water. If you, for example, if you're working in an industry where it's just you're putting a disposable nitro on your hand just for a dust environment and so on, well, at, after at the lunchtime or after a couple of hours, don't dispose of it when you finish the with the work you're doing. Put it in a container, wash it.
Yeah,
It's
let
not
it soak and
medical
then
what you're
wash it.
doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's not medical. It's not contaminated with some type of what dangerous product on it. It's just dirt,
Yeah,
and we have no choice. We have to do this. You know. Or the other solution I tell some people, even in the industrial market, that we promote washing gloves all the time, our quota gloves, our cut resistant gloves, because there's a lot of bacteria that people wearing the glove when it gets warm. There's a lot of bacteria, so we tell them to wash the gloves. And one of the solutions we tell them, keep your glove on your hand, go underneath water, warm water, take some soap, and wash your hands, your gloves with the soap when you
yeah.
have it on.
Exactly, and that's as good as for the disposable gloves, but also for the reusable. So I think it's
Exactly.
important. We keep saying wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, 20 seconds. We'll do the same thing with your
Exactly.
gloves. That solution will
Exactly.
last longer. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, we have a question from Sherry, but we're just about to answer your question, Sherry. How about being creative? Right. We
Well,
see
this.
on the slides some options, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a plastic bag. I mean, you could just put your hand inside and use it as a glove. Saran wrap, Ziplocs, even the bags for when you walk your dog. I mean, those are it's you could be use a glove out of it. It's really a plan B depending on the
Absolutely.
situation and you want to protect yourself.
That's what we call thinking outside the box, right?
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah.
You know.
It's true, and I have to admit I do use the plastic bags. I'm running low on plastic bags, but I do use those plastic bags because it's very interesting, and it's useful. So maybe not so much for the environment, I do agree. However, in
Yeah.
this case right now, we need to pick our battles. At some point we need
Yeah.
to decide, what we can do. Obviously, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Reusable gloves
There we go.
are a good option for environment, for sure.
Exactly.
But if it's not possible, then these are alternatives that one could use.
Exactly. And one of the things too, we have to change our habits. I mean, an earlier webinar you and I did, a woman asked the question in the construction in the
Yes.
construction field, what could the employees wear? Well, they
Yeah.
can't put a disposable glove.
No.
And leather or cotton is not recommended. Well, use a synthetic glove, something with a coating on the palm of the hand, which could be
Yeah.
washable. It's also washable, and it's time we change. We have to change our habits. It, it's not going to go away. What's happening now? It might take a while, a month,
Yeah.
2 months. So let's
Who knows?
prepare
Yeah.
ourselves. Let's have a plan B.
For sure. And I think it's important to realize also that day to day outside of the workplace, you guys could be the most at risk at where exactly, where would you say people are most at
Well,
risk?
this is my opinion. Nobody's paying cash. Nobody wants cash money.
Yeah.
Uh, everybody's using Interact. I mean, those buttons are full of bacteria, full of who knows what else there is. Even at the gas pump, when you're pumping gas, I mean, the handle with the gas when you're holding to pump your gas, and then you have to pay. This is where I say people are mainly at risk, in my opinion, and this is where I would use a glove.
Yeah, and
And
people say use PayPass, but I tried on Saturday. I did my groceries and I tried to pay PayPass, but
you know,
it was more than $100. I guess we have more time on our hands, so we're spending more on groceries for cooking. But I
you
couldn't
know,
use PayPass. I needed to use my card, so I paid with one card and then I pressed on the button with the other card, and I
yeah,
washed actually my credit and my debit card afterwards. But I mean, we need to think about those things, right? Where a
you
lot
know,
of people are, germs could be condensed at.
you know, and then also in a situation like I would take my glove, not dispose of it, keep it in a Ziploc, but then bring it home
Yeah.
and wash it.
Yeah.
That's and again, I'm I'm saving the environment, I'm saving time,
Yeah.
I'm saving and the risk also because we are going to run out of gloves.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we see cell phones on the screen, but I don't know for you guys, but I do wash my cell phone cases every day. Every time I go to the groceries or I come to the office once in a while to pick something, I even throw it in the dishwasher at night. Well, I may be a little freak, if I can say that, but I would rather be, take it, no chances. But the cell phones we touch with our hands all the time. So, and we put it to our face. So be careful with that, definitely.
Exactly.
Ray, we have a question. It's very interesting again from Sherry. Can you put a leather waterproof spray on leather gloves?
If I understood the question, can you put okay? If you put a spray like silicone over leather, it will repel the water. Okay, but the
Okay.
problem also is that leather is organic. It's still alive, even if with a treatment, and sometimes bacteria will grow even faster on it. And it's not really 100% barrier protection. That's the other issue. Where if you're using a coated glove, a synthetic coated glove, it's almost a guaranteed 100% protection. Where with the silicone, you might be only at 40 or 50% protection only.
Okay. Well,
That's the difference.
that's a very good question, Sherry. Thanks for asking. And Ray, like you say, we might as well take the chances on our side and then just, yeah, like you say,
Yes,
use coated gloves for sure.
and we have to change. If you're working with leather, get away from that. Go with a synthetic glove. It's the same price, it lasts longer, better sizing, better dexterity, better everything.
Good.
And and also we have a lot of products made in Canada that we can help you out with
Yes,
gloves.
definitely. Good. All right. So we won't say it enough. Obviously, wearing gloves does not prevent you from preventive measures and hand washing. It's very important. You guys wash your hands, wash your gloves with soap, 15, 20 seconds, scrub, rinse, dry, use paper. I mean, you've heard it. You'll continue to hear it, but we'll continue to say it. This is your health, your safety, the safety of your family and or your employees. So that has to be applied at all time. It's very, very, very important. We've presented a few pairs of reusable gloves, Ray. I just want to tell people that SPI is an essential service. So we are in operation. We ask you obviously to call us or visit our website instead of coming to a branch for the reason you all know. We also have a brand new website which is open 24/7. So visit it, spi-s.com. We have a chat box. You can ask your questions. We can recommend any products. We can support you in any ways. You have the phone numbers on your screen. Obviously, we are committed to reviewing our operations on a daily basis. We want to allow, to continue to operate efficiently for the health and safety of our customers, but also of our own employees. So what we do what we preach, like we say. We also have Superior Glove as a website for any technical specification documents you may want on the gloves that were presented or on any other gloves. Ray is here to help you out. If you guys have questions that you want to ask after, at any point, you just email I'll just show you the email address just so you know. Marketing at SPI, and I will transfer those to Ray for him to respond or for me to respond with his answer. But it's very important that you guys know we're here. We're here to support you. We're still in operation, and you guys are not alone. So if just want to open the chat box for question. If you guys have any other questions, by all means, feel free to ask. There is
I
no
just like
wrong
to,
question. Yeah.
yeah, I just like to say something. At the end of the day, it's my personal option if I want to wear gloves or not. It's my personal option if I want to wear a respirator, a disposable N95, or glass safety glass. It's
Yeah.
my choice,
I
and
mean,
make
yes.
it your choice.
Yeah, and I mean the authorities are changing their last week they said don't wear masks. This week they're starting to say wear masks. So things
Exactly,
will come with the gloves, and we're all learning together on how to manage a pandemic. So it's not that we don't
exactly.
have the the science, to but we hope that you enjoyed the information that was presented because it's in order to support you. We do have a question from Larry. Recycling gloves, are we concerned about that? And if so, can they be recycled?
Well, when we say recycling gloves, right now, uh, what we're proposing, the dishwasher style of gloves. I mean, we can wash it and we can use it for a long time. So, but they're not they're not environmentally friendly. Keep that in
Yeah,
mind. Like a lot of things on the market. Um, but the advantage is that one dishwasher glove in a ratio, you might use 50 pairs of disposable. Well, that's where the saving comes in.
yeah,
And look, we're not, as a manufacturer, we're not there yet for biodegradable. We do have one product that's superior is biodegradable, but we're not there yet.
yeah.
Eventually we will be, I guess. Recycling, yeah, I mean, put it in the bin, make them use the nitro for to make a product and so on, something else.
Yeah, and then if also by recycling, by washing them, you're kind of recycling it too, right? By
You know,
reusing them, and so on.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thanks for your question, Larry. It's a good question. Um, any other question? Let me see. Not so far, but like I say, if any question comes up after the webinar, we will send you an email where you'll have that clip to show you the how to remove a disposable glove properly. So by all means, respond. We'll be there to support you. Ray, I want to take the time to thank you, to reassure
Thank you.
people with the alternatives, to give us your thoughts on the actual options.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
I want to invite people as well. We have another special webinar in the COVID-19 series, which is going to take place this Thursday on April 9th. It's going to be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about ergonomics and temporary teleworking. So join us. Until then, I want to reiterate that SPI is here. We're an essential service. We have we can visit our website, or we have an event tab. We're still working on the after COVID, so we're working very hard. So go see what's coming up in terms of webinars. We do have a newsletter, social media, and just so you know, yes, Sadie, just asking a question. We do not have any stock on disposable gloves as far as I'm concerned. However, what I want to tell you is call your local rep. They will be able to tell you exactly within the province you're in and within the town you're in, the city you're in, because we may have some, but I'm not sure, so I don't want to make any promises. But call your local rep or email me at marketing at SPI, and I will put you into contact with the right person. So before I go, please answer our survey. That would be very much appreciated. And on behalf of SPI and Superior Glove, have a wonderful day. Stay home. And if you can't, wash your hands and be safe, folks. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.